So what actually happens if you never learn Japanese here? Not the dream version that people love to post online. For example, you will never work here, you'll be miserable, and you have to go home. And not the other version too. The one that says, don't worry about it. Enough people speak English here these days. Neither of those is honest, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to give you the real answer because I've spent 2 years living inside the wrong one. And it cost me more than I want to admit on camera. I would get into my own story in a minute. There's a specific email that's finally made this real for me. But first, I need to say something clearly because I don't want you walking away from this thinking it's impossible to build a life here without the language. That's not true. Yes, that's not true. And I'm not going to lie to you just to make a point land harder. So here's the disclaimer. And I need you to actually hear it, not to skim past it. You can get work here without speaking Japanese. That's real. There are genuine openings, and a lot of them, particularly in engineering, software development, certain manufacturing, and technical roles, companies, operating in English, sometimes even by design. So these jobs do exist, and I'm not telling you otherwise. And anyone who tells you it's flatly impossible is lying to you just for views. But here's the part almost nobody says it out loud. Those openings are not a lot. And because they are not a lot, the competition for them is very brutal. Think carefully about who you're actually up against for one of those English-friendly seats. So you're not just competing with other foreigners already living here who also don't speak Japanese like you. You're competing with someone sitting somewhere in London or somewhere in USA for that same role. Someone in Lagos, Manila, Sao Paulo. People are applying for the exact same remote-friendly roles that are English only. And sometimes they don't need visa sponsorship. They don't need relocation covered. So it's sometimes cheaper and easier to hire than you. So that's the real competition. It's not local, it's global for a genuinely small number of seats that are English friendly. And if your background isn't technical, if you're in the humanities, anything client facing, customer facing, anything close to leadership, I have to be very straight with you here. You will need Japanese, not eventually, not a nice to have that you would pick up along the way. Those roles exist specifically to interface with Japanese people, and no company is going to redesign the job around the one hire who can't. So it's a must. So let's talk about why you actually need it. It doesn't mean much without the reasons behind it, right? Reason one, it's simply good business. The overwhelming majority of clients in Japan are Japanese and they operate in Japanese. If you can't understand what your customer is actually telling you, not the polite summary someone has to translate for you afterward, but what's actually was said in the tone they said it and how it was delivered. You are always working with a second-hand information. You're always one step removed from the real relationship that is built. And this is a business culture that runs heavily on relationships and trust. So being one step removed isn't a small gap. It's expensive to you and also to the business as a whole. Reason number two, language here is a trust signal, not just a communication tool. I've watched doors open for co-workers who were honestly less qualified than myself on paper, simply because they could sit in a room and follow what was happening without anyone pausing to translate for them. Showing up in the language, even doing it badly, gets read as, respect for the relationship, not just the transaction. And trust is actually the currency this job market runs on. You can have the better resume and still lose to the person the room trusts more because they showed up willing to meet everyone halfway. Reason number 3, your ceiling. Without Japanese, most roles here cap out somewhere. You can be excellent, you can be genuinely indispensable in a very narrow lane. But here's the real, but there's a real well-worn pattern where foreign hires without Japanese fluency get stuck below the decision-making layer. Useful, valued even, but never in the room where the actual direction of the company gets to be decided or gets decided. If you don't want a ceiling that someone else set for you because of a language you never got serious about, you have to close that gap yourself. Nobody's going to close it for you. This is exactly the mistake I made. I still have the email that made it real. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the line that mattered was very short and disappointing. This position requires business level Japanese, not my resume, not my MBA, not the product I had already built. One line about a language I had quietly decided years earlier I didn't really need to take seriously. So, today, this is the honest truth. You have the skills, you have the experience, your resume looks good, but in Japan, language forms part of the trust layer that companies and recruiters will be looking forward to. So, if your plan is to come to Japan now or even in the future, the Japanese language is a necessity. Beyond work and hiring, you need Japanese to go about your daily activities. Japanese people may seem to be shy or may seem to avoid foreigners, but the anchor or the reason mainly is because they do not want to miscommunicate or make errors in delivering what they intend to say. In Japan, liability is something that is always avoided, and that is the reason why the Japanese service industry seems to be so perfect, because perfection is natural in Japan. And for someone to miscommunicate an action or a directive to you simply because they use the wrong English word or the wrong tense is something that they would avoid at all cost. So beyond work, you need Japanese language to be able to move around and to do the very things that you want to do. So talking about connections, talking about community services, talk about anything that falls in between living and surviving in a country, just like in your home countries where you do not struggle to communicate, you do not struggle to bond with people. So beyond work, learning the language is good. And another reason why you need a language on a personal note is that it signals your readiness to integrate. Because without language, it's very hard to read into what someone is actually saying behind words or behind sentences or behind certain facial expressions. And that goes a long way to communicate that you are ready to integrate into their culture, ready to integrate into their communities. If this video helped you, please subscribe for more updates. I'm Clement, and I'll be sharing more very honest comments, life experiences in Japan in subsequent videos. If there's anything that you would like to ask, please drop a comment and I would make a video about it if it's something that I haven't covered yet or not in the list of things that I want to cover in subsequent videos. And I have currently started developing my own Japanese language app. Once it's ready, I'm going to drop it in subsequent releases.